Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be reusing some makeup that I have been really intrigued by and also just really inspired by recently. All of these products are affordable products, and I made a goal earlier this year that I wanted to incorporate even more of those types of videos where I just reach back into my collection, where I reuse a lot more things on my channel. I still love to review new things, and you guys love to watch those types of videos, but also I think it's very refreshing to switch it up, and just reuse some products and kind of, develop a deeper opinion on some of the things that I just barely tried out. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to be using a lot of things from ColourPop that I recently tried. We also have some Catrice. I wanted to use my Alter Ego Artemis palette again, and I actually came across this makeup look on Instagram. This is by one of my very favorite makeup artists. His name is Mr. Daniel Makeup. I'll have his channel linked down below, but this is the photo. I'll put it up here. This is the photo that I kind of want to recreate. She has a gorgeous bronzy smoky eye with a lavender inner corner, and I feel like that's exactly what I want to create with the products that we're going to be using today. So let's just get right into it. I think maybe, I can't decide if I want to do skin first or eyes first. I should probably do eyes first since it's going to be a little bit more on the glam side. So I already filled in my brows. I used my Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim Pencil today. I used the shade Medium Brown, and I'm going to go ahead and prime the lids with the CoverGirl Exhibitionist Lid Paint. This is in the shade 110 Coconuts, and I've been really into this. I'm going to go ahead and put just a tiny bit on the back of my hand, and then I'm going to take this on a brush, and I'm going to start to just buff this on top of the entire eyelid just to prime everything. I like that this gives coverage, but this shade specifically isn't too deep of a brown, so it really works as a base before I apply foundation or anything like that. I feel like it still blends into my skin tone really nicely. I'm actually also going to apply it along the lower lash line. I'm going to do the whole entire eye maybe this time before going into the face. I might need to pick up a little bit more of that primer. Yeah, I'm going to put a little more on the back of my hand. It actually dries pretty quickly. I can't wait to try more of these shades. I own a couple more. They did send me a couple more colors, but honestly, I can't get enough of this one shade recently, and so it might be a couple more weeks till I actually branch out and try the other colors, just because I've been loving this one so much. I just think this primer blends out so nicely. It's honestly like better than some of my high-end eye primers that I've tried in the past, which is always so fun when you can find a drugstore product that performs as good as or even better than your high-end options. And that's genuinely how I feel about this primer. It's so good. All right, so in that photo, I'm going to be referring back to it a few times. He put like a taupey bronze shade all over the lid. So I'm going to go ahead and dip into the Alter Ego Artemis eyeshadow palette. Now I have an entire dedicated video on this palette already uploaded, so I will have that link down below if you haven't seen it yet. I compared this to the Natasha Denona Metropolis palette. It's supposed to be a dupe, so if you guys want to see that comparison video, I'll have it linked down below. I'm going to dip into this taupe color right here called Thrill, and I'm going to start to work this into the crease a little bit. This shade is like a taupey olive. It actually has a little hint of an olive to it, which I don't know if she has much of this color on her eyes, but it does seem like there's a teensy bit of an olive like hint in her eye look. I don't know. It might not turn out exact, but I'm just taking inspiration from that look anyway, so if it doesn't turn out exactly how the picture is, that's totally fine. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and take my finger and apply the shade Chase all over the lid. This is a gorgeous kind of taupey shimmer shade, and it seems like this might be very similar to what she actually has on her eyes. After I applied that shade, I'm just going back in with my brush and buffing out the edges. I'm going to take a soft, clean brush, and I'm going to buff out the edges toward the brow a little bit more, just to blend things a little more seamlessly. I'm actually also going to take that Chase shade, and I'm going to run this across the entire lower lash line. I don't normally do the lower lash line until I've done the complexion, but we're just switching it up today. I've never really thought to do a bronzy taupey kind of a look with a lavender, so I'm excited to see how this looks on me. It looks gorgeous on the model that he did the makeup on. Hopefully it looks decent on me, we'll see. So it actually looks like she has some sort of a shimmery eyeliner, and honestly, I'm zooming in really close. it kind of has like this olive green undertone. So I'm actually going to use one of the new NYX Epic Wear eyeliners. I used this in a recent video and I fell in love with the formula, and the colors are amazing as well. So I'm just going to use this olive green. I'm going to line the eyes from inner corner all the way to outer corner, making sure that the eyeliner gets gradually more thick as I move out to the outer corner or the outer edge. I'm also going to run this across the lower lash line, right up against the lashes. And I don't know if she had a little bit of a wing, but I'm gonna make just a baby wing on the outer corner. I was swatching a couple of the shades of these eyeliners earlier, and I tried to take them off the back of my hand with a makeup wipe and they would not remove, like they wouldn't come off, which I think is a good thing if you're looking for a super long wearing eyeliner. And it's always a plus when it's a drugstore eyeliner as well. I seriously have been loving this formula. I'm going to layer the tiniest bit of another shade. This is called Gilded Taupe. I'm just going to layer that right on top of the olive green. All right, now I'm going to take the white eyeliner and I'm going to actually use this to highlight the inner corner. This will help that lavender pop a little bit more. I'm dragging this eyeliner a little bit onto the lid in the inner corner, and then it looks like it stops about there. Okay. Let's go ahead and layer in the lavender. I actually am going to use a blush. So this is a blush that I didn't get a chance to try out in the video where I tried out this collection. This is from one of the new ColourPop collections. It's the Pressed Powder Blush in the shade Night Bloom, and it's a beautiful lavender color. So I felt like this would be perfect for this look. I'm just going to take this on a small brush, and I'm going to start to press this over top of the white eyeliner to create that lavender inner corner. It's kind of translating a little bit more pink than the eyeshadow that she's wearing in the picture, but we're just taking inspiration, you know? I'm gonna kind of layer it up a little bit more so that it looks pretty intense in that inner corner. I think it looks kind of cool though. In the picture, it looks like she's wearing something in her waterline too, so I'm gonna go ahead and take the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner in the shade Honeydew. I'm gonna go ahead and line the waterline with this. All right, now I feel like we need some mascara. I'm gonna go ahead and use my L'Oreal Lash Paradise. Oh wait, nope. I wanted to put a little bit of glitter on the eyes using one of the Jelly Much eyeshadows that I recently got from ColourPop. I feel like I wanna use this one. This one is called Mystical, and I think this was from the Desert collection. What was that called? I can't even remember. But I'm gonna take a little bit of this. It's like a gorgeous rose gold shade. And I'm gonna pop this on the lid just to add a little bit more sparkle. I'm glad I remembered to put this on because I was really excited to try another shade. So I guess some of the products that I'm using, I'm not technically like reusing the specific shades, but I'm just like reusing some of the stuff in the collection, some of which is new to me, like the lavender blush and this Jelly Much eyeshadow, but they're so pretty. Okay, I think that really added something even more special to the look. So now I'm gonna go ahead and apply mascara, and she has pretty lashy lashes in this look, so I'm gonna really layer up this mascara. Okay, so we have the entire eye look done, which kind of feels funny because usually I don't do my makeup in this order exactly, but we're just gonna keep going. All right, let's move on to complexion. I'm gonna be using the Believe Beauty Radiantly Primed Face Primer. It's been a minute since I've used this. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this with my hands. And I like this because it gives you a crazy amount of glow that's not glittery and it's also not greasy. So it's one of my favorites for when I want super glowy skin, but I need my makeup to last a long time. I would have never thought to pair like olive green tones with lavender, but I really love how it looks. It's actually much more wearable than you would think. Okay, and while that sets into the skin a little bit more, I'm gonna get my foundation ready. I'm gonna be using the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. I just mixed two shades. I mixed these two 50-50. This is the shade Fair 25W and Light 40N. I do have a shade that matches me perfectly that I will have listed down below if you want to know, but they sent me these two shades in full bottles, and when I mix them together, it actually works really well for me, so that's what I've been doing. All right, I'm just gonna go ahead and apply this to the skin. Grab my foundation brush. This seriously is such a good foundation, you guys. I've been wearing this and then my Oma Beauty foundation non-stop. So I'm just applying this all over the skin, kind of evenly distributing the product, being careful around the eyes, of course, since they're already done. Then I'm gonna take what's left of that foundation on the back of my hand, and I'm gonna use my sponge to just press everything into the skin so there's no brush marks and so that we have the most natural finish possible. I also always make sure to blend the foundation down the neck. Okay, and then to conceal, I'm gonna use my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Creamy Concealer. I'm gonna be using the shade Fair 20N, and I'm just gonna use this under the eyes. Well, okay, I'll put a little bit over blemishes, but I'm not gonna put any down the center of the face. And I'm gonna make sure to take my concealer brush under the eye, and I'm gonna blend it down first until there's less product on the brush. And then once there's less product, I'm gonna take that up toward the eye and kind of use it to sculpt and shape out that lower lash line a little bit more. But I'm trying to be careful around the inner corner especially. I don't wanna accidentally ruin all of our hard work there. So I'm just gonna do the same thing on this side, and then I'm gonna just press in concealer over top of the blemishes with my sponge. I'm taking a little bit of what's left of my concealer and just kind of going closer to the brows over the top. Even though I filled in the brows first, I might have to touch them up later just to make sure everything looks as seamless as possible. I am loving how this is looking so far. I'm going to go in with my Glossier Wowder in the shade G11 to G12, and I'm going to use this to set the entire face basically. I'm going to focus this on the T-zone and underneath the eyes. I love this powder. It's one of the best for when you want to powder your face, but you don't want to look powdered. It's one of the best like no makeup type powders, but I also love using it for glam looks to keep the skin looking more fresh while still being able to set the makeup. I do always want to make sure to set the blemishes though, just to make sure that concealer doesn't move. And then to make things look even more fresh, I'm just going back over the powder with my sponge to make sure there's zero powdery finish, but that everything's also locked into place. All right, we're gonna bronze up the skin using the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. I have seriously fallen in love with this all over again. And Mr. Daniel Makeup did quite a bronzy skin look, so I'm gonna make sure that I really warm up the complexion with this. So I'm just gonna start building this on the cheeks and into the hairline. I'm also going to run a little bit down the sides of the nose, a little bit under the lip, and then along the jawline and down the neck. I'm going over the edges with what's left on my foundation brush very, very lightly, just to make sure it's all nice and blended. And then I'm going to go over it one more time with my sponge, just to make sure everything is meshing together nicely. All right, now it's time for a little bit of glow. I'm going to take my Catrice Sungasm Face and Body Highlighter. This highlighter is out of this world. It is so good. It's only 10 bucks and it's seriously amazing. You only need the tiniest amount to get crazy glow on the skin, but it is so beautiful. So I'm just going to go ahead and layer this up onto the high points of the face. And I kind of like to press it onto the skin because if I swipe, it actually distributes way too much product. I feel like I don't have as much control. So pressing it into the skin a little bit with a brush helps kind of prevent that and helps you control things a little bit more. I'm going to do the same thing down the nose and on the cupid's bow. And for this, I always like to take my sponge and go over everything and just kind of press that into the skin even more so that it really, really melts. And I feel like when I do that, it really just kind of makes it look like it's coming from within your skin. It's so pretty. Okay, so she definitely has a little bit more of like a bronzy blush. I wanted to try out this, so I'm going to take a tiny bit of this blush on the other side of this Persona Cosmetics Power Brush, and I'm going to just layer this on to the cheeks a little bit. I might put a little bit of a bronzier color over top, but I really want to see what this would look like. Wow, that's actually gorgeous as a blush. This color looks so intimidating in the pan, but once you apply it to the cheeks, it's actually extremely wearable. Wow, that looks really nice. Actually, I was gonna layer something on top, but I almost feel like that color mixed in with the bronzer creates a very similar tone to what she's wearing, so I'm just gonna leave it for now. I can always add something later if I want. All right, I'm gonna wipe off any foundation that got on the lips. I'm gonna go in with my NYX lip pencil in the shade Natural. I just recently purchased this and I shared it with you guys in my last video. I love this shade so much. I'm just gonna line and fill in the lips with this. Okay, once I've lined and filled in the lips, I'm gonna use one of the ColourPop Luxe lip oils. I'm gonna take the shade Skinny Dip. It looks like she has something pretty nude on her lips, so I'm just gonna try to kind of lighten this lip liner with this. I love the formula of these lip oils. They're so nice. All right, this is where we step back and assess the situation. I'm just gonna brush up the brows, and I am going to fill them in again with the same Maybelline pencil. To help blend the edges of the eyeshadow a little bit more, I'm just dipping an eyeshadow brush into my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and I'm just kind of going around the eye, just along the edges right underneath where I applied shadow. And this usually helps to kind of blend the eyeshadow into the foundation and concealer around the eye. All right, I'm actually gonna take a little bit of this pressed powder blush from the, whatever this collection was. I can't remember what the name was, but this is called Crossroads. And just gonna take the tiniest amount of this and apply it a little bit lower and further out on the cheeks just to kind of create a little bit, just to kind of create a little bit of a deeper tone. And then I'm gonna take the same brush that I was just using with the bronzer, and I'm actually gonna dip into the lavender blush, and I'm going to apply a little bit right here just to tie in the tones. And I think that's everything that I wanna do. I really actually love the lavender inner corner with the taupe eyeshadow. I would have never paired that myself, but because of that picture, I was really inspired by it, and I love how it turned out. So we're gonna go ahead and set the face now using my ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Acid Setting Mist. I'm almost out of this. Just gonna let that dry a little bit. And then once it's almost dry, I'm just gonna go ahead and take my sponge really, really gently and just press everything down into the skin one more time. I really love this look. Doesn't it look so luxurious and high-end? That's my favorite when I find products or create looks that look so luxurious, but you don't have to spend like too much money on the products. I'm gonna use a brow gel. I don't have an affordable one. Oh yes, I do. I'm gonna use the Glossier Clear Brow Gel. All right, you guys, so that completes this makeup look. I love how it turned out. This is totally my style of video these days. I just really enjoy being able to sit down and like reuse some of the makeup that I've been really interested in. I'm basically in my pajamas right now, and that's also one of my favorite things to do, is to get ready or just like play with makeup with nowhere to go while wearing really comfortable clothes. So I really enjoyed filming this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I love how this turned out. Tag me in any photos if you guys end up recreating a similar look where you use taupey browns on the eyes with a lavender inner corner. I would love to see it, and I would love to hear from you what you think of this look, especially if you end up trying it out. I honestly am surprised at how much I love it and how wearable it is. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know in the comments down below if you guys are loving any of the same affordable makeup right now. I'm really enjoying all the things that I'm wearing on my face and on my eyes, and I would love to know if you guys are enjoying the same things that I am. If you're new here, hi, my name is Allie, and I would love for you to join the family. You can do so by hitting the subscribe button, and if you're already a subscriber but you want to be notified on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, click on the bell after you subscribe and you'll get a notification every single time I post. That's it from me today. Again, I will have the reference photo that I took inspiration from in the description box down below if you want to give Mr. Daniel Makeup a follow here on YouTube and on Instagram. I will also have his info. I learned so much from him. And yeah, I hope you guys have an amazing day wherever you are, and I will see you in my next video. Love you. Bye!